If anything happens to Mia, we're getting a divorce.
While shopping with the family, our daughter Mia suddenly goes missing. In a panic, I search everywhere. Ethan, clearly annoyed, yells at me. He gives up the search and goes off to eat. At the mall's information desk, they inform me that a child matching Mia's description was seen being forcibly put into a car by a young woman in the parking lot. What should I do now? A store employee kindly suggests contacting the police. Just then, Ethan returns and after hearing the situation, urgently says,
"Don't you dare call the cops."
What unfolds next is unexpected and horrifying truth, plunging Ethan into a living hell. My name is Allison. I live with my 4-year-old daughter, Mia, and my husband, Ethan. I hustle every day as a homemaker, doing everything for Ethan and Mia. After graduating college, I married Ethan and became a homemaker at his insistence. Despite this, Ethan looks down on me for never having worked as a working adult.
"If you divorce me, Allison, you're done for. You have no work experience."
Ethan points this out every time we fight.
"You're just a parasite."
I've been called that too. When we first got married, I used to stand up for myself, but Ethan's constant belittling has worn down my confidence. I find myself unable to argue back anymore, merely living according to Ethan's wishes. Unhappy with the situation, I once suggested to Ethan that I could get a part-time job now that Mia has started preschool.
"If you take a part-time job, you'll neglect the household chores. Plus, you've never worked a day in your life, Allison."
But I thought I could contribute to our finances even just a bit.
"Cut the crap! You, Allison, with no skills, working? Impossible. Bring it up again and we're getting a divorce."
Ethan ripped up the resume I had started writing. Why can't things be better? The thought of a divorce crossed my mind, but with no work experience, there's no guarantee I'd get custody of Mia if we separated. So I gave up on getting a part-time job and found myself back under Ethan's thumb. Around that time, Ethan started coming home late and seemed preoccupied with sending messages, acting a bit off. Moreover, when I went to wash Ethan's dress shirts, I noticed the scent of women's perfume on them. Could he be cheating? Suspicion growing, I couldn't resist peeking at his phone while he was in the shower. But the phone was locked, and I was struggling to unlock it.
"What are you doing?"
A terrifying voice came from behind me. Turning around, I saw Ethan, freshly out of the bath, glaring at me and snatching the phone out of my hands. Well, I saw messages coming in and I got curious.
"Enough with the excuses. Do you think I'm cheating?"
No, it's not like that.
"I wouldn't do something like that. We have our lovely Mia. Think about it again and we're getting a divorce."
With that, Ethan retreated to his room, leaving me pondering. I haven't even mentioned cheating, but his defensive reaction told me all I needed to know. However, the thought of being separated from Mia if we divorced stopped me from pushing any further. The next day, Ethan oddly began to bring home flowers and our favorite cream puffs, as if trying to get back in my good graces. And perhaps to continue winning me over, he suggested we go to the new shopping mall that had recently opened nearby.
"We're both free this weekend. Let's go out, all 3 of us."
Yay, shopping with Mom and Dad! Mia was jumping with joy. I was happy too, finally having a family outing. So, on our next day off, we drove to the new shopping mall in the neighborhood. However, the newly opened stores were extremely crowded. After some time walking around the mall, we all felt drained by the crowds.
"I'm tired. I'll take a break here with Mia."
Ethan quickly sat down at a rest spot in the mall. I gave Mia some soft-serve ice cream and decided to use that time to go grocery shopping at the supermarket next door. After 30 minutes later, when I returned to the rest spot, Ethan was lounging on a sofa absorbed in a game on his mobile phone. However, when I looked around, Mia was nowhere near Ethan. Where's Mia?
"She was just playing near the table a minute ago. Maybe she's in the restroom?"
I checked the restroom for Mia, but she wasn't there. I even searched through the nearby toy stores and arcade from corner to corner, but she was nowhere to be found. Starting to panic, I yelled, "Mia, where are you?" With the crowd, I couldn't spot her. Hey, Mia's missing! Help me find her! Reluctantly, Ethan, who had been engrossed in his mobile game, started searching with me. I could sense his annoyance at being interrupted. After searching for about 10 minutes, Ethan suddenly grabbed my collar. It's your fault for leaving Mia alone while shopping, isn't it? You said you were watching her! Who cares? If anything happens to Mia, we're getting a divorce. What? His sudden words caught me off guard. When that happens, I'm taking custody of Mia. You can work your tail off for child support. Now is not the time to be saying that. If you don't like it, search by yourself. Ethan let go of my collar abruptly and stormed off to the food court, saying he was going to eat. Don't you care about Mia at all? Though I wanted to call him back, fearing his anger, I let him go. Unable to find Mia, I went to the mall's service counter for help. She's a 4-year-old girl wearing a red floral dress and white shoes. Unfortunately, no reports of a missing child had been made. Hearing this, I collapsed into a chair. Where could Mia be? Was she kidnapped? Is she crying somewhere right now because I'm not there? The concerned staff called around to different stores for me. Just when I was praying for any information, a security guard said he saw a girl in similar clothing being forcibly put into a car by a young woman. When he had questioned her, she had yelled, "She's my daughter, just being stubborn. I'm in a hurry, so don't bother me." She seemed quite flustered, starting the car quickly and drove off. The more I heard, the more it seemed likely that the woman had taken Mia. Mia, please be safe. Feeling guilty for leaving Mia behind while shopping, my emotions weigh heavily on me. A store staff member reassures me, "Don't worry, Mia is probably fine. Let's call the police for now." You're right. I need to call the police. Telling myself that this is no time for tears, I take out my mobile phone to call the police. Just then, I receive a call from Ethan, who seems to have just finished his lunch alone. Hey, where are you? Did you find Mia? The thing is, it looks like Mia was taken away in a car by a young woman. What? What are you talking about? I quickly tell Ethan to come to the customer service counter, and he rushes over. Ethan seems hesitant when the security guard briefs him on the situation and suggests that we should report it to the police. Then, Ethan starts asking the security guard detailed questions about the appearance of the woman who took Mia, and the color and the type of car. I might know who she is. I'm going to call her, so please don't go to the police yet. Know who? What do you mean? Just stay here and wait, Allison. Leaving me with questions, Ethan goes away to make a phone call. A few minutes later, he returns with a worried look on his face. Allison, go home first. I'll pick up Mia, and remember, do not report this to the police. Without explaining further, Ethan leaves in his car, so I have no choice but to take the train back home alone. Please come back safely. With no updates and time passing by, I am filled with unease. Should I really not contact the police? Then, almost 2 hours later, Ethan returns home, carrying a sleeping Mia. Mia! You're safe! Overwhelmed with joy, I run to Mia and hug her tightly. I take a peacefully sleeping Mia to her bedroom. I check her thoroughly to make sure she's not hurt, and thankfully find no injuries. I'm so relieved. Finally feeling a sense of relief that Mia is back, I ask, "So, the person who took Mia, was she someone you know?" Yeah, it was just a mix-up with someone from work. Mia's fine. Let's leave it at that. What do you mean, a mix-up? Explain properly. She mistook Mia for a lost child. I don't want to make it an issue at work, okay? If you do anything weird, we're getting a divorce. Ethan forcefully ends the conversation and retreats to his room. I don't know how you could make such ridiculous excuses. By now, I had nothing but distrust for Ethan. But what's the point in asking him any further? He won't tell me anything. Soon after, Mia woke up. I hugged Mia so tightly it might have hurt, and when I welcomed her home, she grinned with a ticklish smile. At first, I didn't like getting in the car with a strange lady, but she told me she was Daddy's friend, so I wasn't scared. Mia reassured me with a smile. Daddy's friend? Yep, they're super close. Could there be something more between Ethan and this woman? I decided to take a leap and hired a private investigator to look into Ethan. Luckily, Mia seemed fine both physically and emotionally, which was a huge relief. So life went on as usual. A week later, I received a report from the investigator. Just as I suspected, Ethan was cheating. So, it's really like that, huh? Is this the same woman who took Mia? I showed the security guard at the mall a photo of the woman Ethan was seeing. It matched the woman who took Mia. When I think about it, Ethan didn't notice Mia was missing because he was gaming and then insulted me while I was searching for her. He never apologized. And the worst part? Ethan acted like he was a victim too, but all this happened because he cheated. All the anger I had for Ethan burst out. I can't leave Mia around such a father. I decided on divorce. But if it comes to divorce, I, a homemaker with no working experience, would likely lose custody of Mia. So, first things first, I started job hunting. It was tough learning how to write a resume and practicing for interviews, but I studied late into the night for Mia and finally got a job offer. Then I started working secretly from Ethan, found a divorce lawyer, and looked for an apartment I could afford. Finally, when all was ready, I went to file a police report. The day after I filed the report, Ethan came home early from work. Maybe his affair partner tipped him off. Why did you file a police report? That's a misunderstanding. Go withdraw it now. No way. What? So you're doing this because you want to get divorced? Up until now, Ethan must have thought I'd always do what he said, just because I didn't oppose him when he mentioned divorce. You know, you'd be screwed financially if we split, right? I looked at Ethan, who was brimming with confidence, and emotionlessly handed him the divorce papers. What? You do realize you won't be able to maintain this lifestyle if we divorce, don't you? You're just a homemaker. But I'm not just a homemaker anymore. I have a job and I'm earning my own money. I can live without you, Ethan. What? When did you start working? That's why I can divorce you without any issues. Especially after you cheated on me with the woman who kidnapped Mia. I've told you I didn't cheat. Just as I expected, Ethan denied the cheating. So I spread out photos of him and his mistress entering a hotel. Ethan's face tightened instantly. Still want to say you didn't cheat? I'm sorry. After Mia was born, you never had time for me. I felt lonely. The first time he's ever apologized, and it was still an excuse. Ethan was running out of ways to defend himself. Look, the woman who kidnapped Mia is not my mistress. Trust me. Mia and the mall security both recognized her as your mistress. It just looks like her. She's actually a colleague. Don't let this get out, okay? Please retract the police report. Ethan was desperately trying to protect his mistress from punishment. What was he thinking? Security footage caught her license plate. It matches with your mistress's. Still think it's not her? Ethan had nothing more to say. Apparently, he'd promised his mistress to get the police report retracted. He was visibly sweating when he realized I was not going to comply this time. I don't need you, Ethan, who tries to protect someone who put Mia in danger. From now on, we'll talk through lawyers. Leaving Ethan behind, I picked up the sleeping Mia and headed to my parents' house. After that, Ethan's affair partner got arrested for kidnapping Mia. Turns out, when she expressed her sincere desire to marry Ethan, he told her, I can't marry you. Mia is important to me. Believing that getting Mia out of the picture would clear the path for marriage, she took her to a remote mountain, planning to abandon her there. When Ethan heard the description of the woman from the security guard, he realized it was his affair partner. He tricked her with a fake marriage proposal to get Mia back. Moreover, she had been bragging to her coworkers that she was set to marry Ethan, believing his words. In the end, her arrest led to everyone at work finding out about her affair and kidnapping. She was fired. As for Ethan, he resisted divorce until the end. However, thanks to the parents-in-law who felt sorry for Mia, convincing me to give up on Ethan, I secured a lump sum payment for child support and divorce settlement. Ethan wasn't put behind bars like his affair partner, but he was also fired because of the rumors she spread. And yet, I still get messages from Ethan demanding that we get back together. Always talking about how he's struggling, but never a word about me or Mia. I've decided to cut ties with the despicable Ethan once and for all. I've gone through a lawyer and even changed my mobile phone. Now, Mia and I are living together in an apartment near my parents' house. With the help of my dad and mom, I juggle work, household chores, and parenting, and I'm busier than ever. I've gained self-confidence and I'm living fuller, happier days than I did while married.